Hi, folks, friends, inquirers, wanderers. My name is, well, what is your name becoming? Is your name changing? Are you changing your name? Is it becoming something that can operate in a different realm? See things differently? What is your name? Oh, great one. Oh, lover, will you be? Of love this time. Will you teach love? Will you learn love? Will you learn to think? Learn to think differently, symmetrically, not or asymmetrically, or synchronicity. No more with the bogged down, stagnant, repetitious, religious, scientific community. Or will you go outside the bounds of everything now that you've heard, seen, and delivered yourself unto? Are you willing to see a new leadership come forth? Coming forth in you, through you, your leadership arising now with a different name, a different love, a different perspective, a new consciousness, awarded you not, given to you not, but that you've grown. Will you grow a new consciousness? Are you willing to grow in your confidence? Your confidence of your consciousness? You see, thinking is not enough. Thinking about God, thinking about love is not enough. The rhetoric around Christ and his blessing, established patriarchy, heaven, hell, the war within, the war in heaven, the war. Thinking is not enough. Thinking thoughts, for many, are places, experiences of torment, because so many people, you give place to thought, and thought thinks you instead of you thinking thoughts. And your thoughts take you over. Your thoughts begin to rule you. You begin to worry. You become obsessed with what might happen, what might be. You begin to fear. And then you become possessed. Possessed by what? Thought. Thought that rips your angel wings off of you. Thought that takes your confidence and continually clips at the hem so that your dress of confidence continually shrinks. I'm asking you that you might have life and Have it more abundantly. But not religiously. I'm asking you to go out of the bounds of religion and out of the bounds of your confidence. I'm asking you to lead. It's not enough to think about it. It's not enough to worship. Worship won't get you there. Worship won't do it. Devotion to your exclusiveness will only bring you pain, isolation, discouragement, ultimate despair, and inevitable death. But life and death, the power of death, the power of life to defeat death is in the tongue. Well, it's in the tongue. It's not in the tongue. It's both and, whatever. Well, let's delineate. Let's define. Power in the tongue? No, it's not in this little tiny piece of flesh. But the energy, the consciousness of what controls that tongue, your tongue. You have the power of life and death. Because, my friend, you are. And when you know you are, when you know who you are and what you have the confidence and the capacity to do and begin doing it, you may shock yourself. You look back and you say, I did it. I took the training wheels off. I laid down my Santa Claus God story. Oh my gosh. After all the decades of my life and all my prayers and devotion, all the tithe that I've written to the church, I'm laying down my Bible? My Bible? Is it your Bible? Is that your Bible? Or do you just own a book? But what words has it? What words in your Bible have you ascribed to you? Have you seen the story? Or have you been illiterate? You can be illiterate with a PhD. You can be a neuroscientist, an astrophysicist, and be illiterate. Illiterate in the ability to see, think, perceive, create consciousness that creates in the realm that I speak of. Pardon. And I speak of a realm that is impossible to see with your eyes. Until you begin to enter it. Because how do you see it? With your eyes. It is within you. The kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And it's time to do what I have done and more. It's time to see you in the picture. It's time to see you as the Christ. No more wanting a story of someone else who's going to do everything for you. John 14:12. I guess I've quoted it 100 times, several hundred times in these recordings. See the motive. Quit reading like we've all been taught to read. Read with more than your eyes, more than your eyeballs, more than your brain, more than the CPU between your ears, that Enigma machine. Begin to read with love. Begin to listen with love. Begin to see a new heart, not a new blood pumping muscle, but a new command center. Command center, where you're in control and you're the one adjusting all the dials, the hue, tone, color, saturation, light, technology. Life itself. Yours first. Will you change your input? And quit doing the same thing over and over, year after year. It's time to take a step up in your leadership. It's time to take not a gigantic leap into an abyss of affliction or an abyss that you can't see anything in. It's time for you to change what you've been doing, where you've been doing it, how you've been doing it, why you've been doing it. And if you will listen, if you listen to my broadcast, my teaching, my lessons, what are they? Channeled from another world? Or are you listening to these just trying to make sense of them line by line, precept by precept, like listening to a normal podcast or a normal presentation like we've all grown up with? Or will you assemble something that goes beyond? Goes beyond what? Goes beyond the meaning of the words? That goes beyond just the definition of the words that we've all grown up with? Are you willing to go beyond what you've thought any given Bible verse means? Are you willing to see you in the picture? Are you willing to become that Bible character who said, who was it? You can find it if you want to know. That said what? I know more than all of my teachers. I have a doctorate in strategic leadership. I know more than all of my teachers. All of my teachers, many wonderful men and women, taught me from books that other leaders, that they considered leaders, wrote books. Someone else calling. Am I still live? I thought I had do not disturb on my phone. I was trying to decline and it answered the call. I'm just me and I'm not trying to be anyone else. And my message today is it's time to step up and do the things I did. And who am I? I am who you let me be? Or am I your teacher? Or am I a teacher who teaches you how to learn to teach you from within so that you can see you in the picture, no longer a spectator, no longer sidelined, no longer limiting yourself to the role that other people tell you to play in your life. Oh, I've shown this picture a number of times, but I like it so much. Will you, my friend, begin sowing? Will you hearing this, men, women, boys, and girls, no matter what your religion, no matter what you think of this old 73-year-old guy in Eureka Springs, will you begin opening your eyes to a new reality, a larger reality, where you no longer debase you or each other. You're no longer accusing you of being not enough, being unworthy, inadequate, shortchanged, dumb, stupid. I want you to see. I'm asking you to see your beauty, your light. I'm asking you to see your ability to sew with a needle and thread, cloth of light, with new tools, new instruments. I'm asking you to learn to lead, where you, my friend, are the one sewing the dress on each other. You're not just trying to lead a company to be successful, to have more money, to increase your earnings per share, to go public, start an IPO, get rich. I'm not saying those things are wrong. I'm just saying there's a lot more to life. And you have the power of life in your tongue, in your mind, your brain, your heart, your motive, your consciousness. Let no one else truncate your consciousness. Let no one else affect your DNA of light. I call forth the DNA of light to come forth, to turn on, to flip the switch this day. It's time to do. It's time to be, and no longer be content with the rhetoric about it all. No matter whether you think Jesus is Christ, Christ is Jesus, and he did everything for you or not, I'm asking you to learn a new song. I'm asking you to see a new picture of you. And I'm asking you to begin to see your ability. Yes, you. Maybe you didn't graduate from the 3rd grade. Maybe you're not very articulate. Maybe you don't have any degree. Do you love? Do you love people? Are you willing to love love? Are you willing to no more be led by other people? Are you willing for that which is inside of you, that you know exists in some state of potential exist? Are you willing to get it out? Are you willing to be the bottom line? Are you willing to be who you really are? No more programmed by cultural values. I'm asking you to value who you are and see your capacity to heal other people. To help them open their eyes. To be the balm of Gilead. The salve of understanding. To heal the hurts and wounds. Grow out their arms and legs because you can after they've been maimed in war. Just as easily as Jesus called forth Lazarus from the tomb. Just as simply as Jesus intervened when the religious wanted to stone the woman found in adultery. Jesus intervened in front of a whole crowd. He didn't do it with gun, tanks, bombs, and physical brute force. He spoke a few words. You see the story? The story, the power of the story is not in the historical account that applies to him. The power of the story, the purpose of the story is for you to see you in it. And it's time to lead. So who am I? Jesus? Theodore? Both? Consciousness. What? If I have that consciousness that was in him, in me, am I him or me? Or am I me that looks like me that's really him? Or what head do I have on me? I have a head on me that looks like Theodore. But where did he lay his head? Did he find a place to lay his head? Did he find it? Did he find it? He looked for a place to lay his head. You can find that phrase if you want to. I don't do everything for you. I cannot give you everything that I even have the power to give you. Because you must choose it. You must want it more than the breath you breathe, more than the words that you've been taught to select and assemble into sentences that lead you inevitably to death. You can say it's appointed unto you once to die and then the judgment, but my friend, you have the power of life and death. You have the power to forgive sins. Sins, if you want to call what sin exists. I suggest sin. If there's any sin, there's only one. Only one. It's you creating separation from who you really are. You see, love, a race of love, a race of lovers. Love is a race of lovers who are all connected. A race of light people. And a race of light people. Lovers. I've met, I've talked with. Oh my gosh. You can meet. You can talk with. You can ask them questions any time of the day or night without even any syllables. Aren't there times you wonder about things? And then when you try to put what you're wondering into words, there's some time and effort involved in actually constructing sentences that describe what's going on inside of you. And you can talk with them. And they will answer you sometimes, but seldom the way you expect. This is not a linear world. We are no longer in the sandbox. We're no longer wearing the diapers of religion. We're no longer sucking the teats of education that wants to limit us to only things that are peer-reviewed by accredited authors, institutions, degreed individuals. I'm telling you, love has power. And there are many people who have virtually no education, who have love in their heart for each other. And they, my friend, are willing to bow before you, love you, give you a cup of cold water, not in someone else's name, but yours. They're willing to fix the hem on your dress, sew a sleeve of light. They're willing to put their arm around you and tell you who you really are. There's power. Power in the word. There's power in the word of love that will love love. And whoever will love love will be it. Whoever will love love conceives it. It's an intangible seed because it's verbal. Is it verbal? Is it limited to verbal? No, it's ink on paper. Oh, it's no, you can't limit it to ink on paper. You can't limit it to those words. You can't limit it to those feelings because this is an energy of a consciousness that can no longer be stymied, can no longer be controlled by patriarchy, books, religion, or education. It's time to lead in the leadership of you, to lead you out of where you've been, what you've been, incarcerated in. As a flesh person, cosmic leadership. Are you expanding your idea of what it means to be born again? Born again. Can a man enter the womb of his mother the second time? No. No, Nicodemus, you can't do that. That's not what this is talking about. This is talking about seeing you in the picture for you to conceive a womb. Remember, spoken about in Jeremiah, where you, a woman, encompasses a man, a person, a spiritual, an energetic womb, a consciousness. The idea, you see, of conception, of recreation, you see, the, the reconception of the Creator, because the Creator creates. If you want to know your purpose on earth, I suggest it's to create. Create. And you can create by your intellect, your cognitive power, and learn to very efficiently use your Enigma machine to come forth. Delight crowds. Learn to be elegant in speech. Do things like an alchemist, a magician. Become very persuasive. Create widgets. Develop high-powered assembly lines to produce them. But there's so much more to the story. You are, I am. And when we know the story and we really begin to realize it, you see, one reason I love you, one reason, so many reasons. When you begin to see love and you begin to see the larger picture, the whole picture, I'm telling you, you begin to know who you are in ways that reveal love in you that you never had for one another. You begin to love that little black boy, the little white girl, the little ugly one, the hair-lipped one, the malformed, the celiac, the brain dead. Those in ICU, those on the battlefield, Ukraine, Chad, Sudan. You begin to care what's going on. Floods, Pakistan, Spain. You begin to care about what you know about Africa. You begin to care about what you know about the cosmos. Because your capacity changes when you begin to care. And you grow the capacity to learn, to see, to feel a new way, a new language. Are you willing? Are you willing to no more be fearful of what somebody may say about you? She's too fat. What does it matter? One of the things when I began to channel and share my words so freely with people, oh my. So many times thinking people would, I was so naive. So many times I thought people would be so happy to understand a deeper, greater revelation, only to experience, who do you think you are? So in my quest to get by that, to overcome that, a lot of times my initial response was, I don't care. But it wasn't long before I realized, and I said it differently, and I say it differently today. I do care. But it doesn't matter. I care. I care about the comments. I care about the lack of understanding, the lack of love. But when people bash me and make comments, deriding me, derisive comments, says a lot about them. But that's not my point. My point is, I care, but it doesn't matter. Those comments cannot control you. Fear? Oh my gosh. Religion is based on fear. Hell is based on fear. Is heaven based on fear? Based on the place you want to avoid, so you want a polar opposite? There's no such thing as blasphemy. If you have a heart of love and you're inquiring about truth. Truth invites examination. Truth invites curiosity. Truth brings synergy to your capacity to heal and understand and grow. So that no matter how stagnant you've been in your muscular memory, your brain, your mind, your intelligence, when you start flowing love and you begin to care and you begin to experience first-person love, first-person light, first-person communicating with you, communing with you, where love wraps its arms around you, your capacity to create changes. Your capacity to create begins to heal you and heal you and heal you commensurately with your time, effort, discipline, devotion, surrender, commensurately at the beginning. But let me assure you, when you love love and you set your course to navigate waters that are uncharted, to set sail for the world that is inside of you, before long, your capacity to know, learn, reveal, understand, write, speak, lay down fear, begins to accelerate, and you will begin to experience exponentiation. It will be exponential. Exponential. It won't be line by line, precept by precept. It'll be download by download. Not just download by download. It'll be you walking into the story. You will be walking into the story and see you. See you in the fiery furnace. That's where so many of you are now. But are you willing to walk out? And are you willing to walk out without the smell of smoke on your clothes? Are you willing to see it as a religious story no more, but a story that may be religious or not? Will you see the power of the story? Will you see the power of those words? Will you see the power of the word craft? The word craft, the craftsmanship of the story? Well, who do you want to craft the story? The Phillips version The New King James Version. The version of you is coming forth to do what you must, not, but to be who you are. And this takes a step up from the rhetoric, from the learning, from the listening, to not just listening, but choosing to be in motion, where you're no longer reclusive. You're no longer secluded. Where you choose to begin to exit the sphere of fear. And the fear that has kept you in the lion's den. You begin to see how powerless those lions really are. Because you begin to see your light. And when you begin to see your light, if you so choose, you can begin to surrender. To listen to the light. The language of light, the language of love. Will you love you? Will you love each other? I can't sew my own wings on. My wings fell off. They were cut off over a period of eons. Religion cut them off. No. We all did that to each other. With our speech, with our word. Our words clipped each other's wings. Throughout eons, through many iterations of creation. But now, there's one who will stand up. I'm talking to you. If you choose, sew the wings back on those you love. And I'm asking you to love each other. The cashier, the manager, the janitor. Begin to change your perspective. Begin to change your mind. Begin to change your mind. Begin to change your revelation. And begin to be the revealer you are to you from within. And that energy within will begin to commune with you. And you will go to a holy place. A holy place. Not a religious place, a divine place. No longer needing the divine, the terminology of the divine. No longer needing the terminology of Satan, God, heaven, hell. Be who you really are. You see, if you're who you really are, whether you embrace some other set of terminology, parlance, vernacular, it won't put boundaries around you. Are you willing to be boundaryless? Are you willing to walk in power so that you can call forth Lazarus from the ICU? And the Lazarus will get up from the battlefield? Will you teach people how to feed 5,000? with 2 loaves of bread, 5 fish. My friend, if you have the power of life and death in your tongue, you have the power to stop a war, raise the dead, heal the maimed, love your neighbor, your manager, your boss, that despicable whoever, wherever. Will you love them and let them be them? Let them be them. Care, but don't let it matter to you. See, but realize you're no longer under their authority, even though you may work there for a while. But you begin to see because you begin to develop. You begin to develop in your own authority. You begin to develop who you really are, not based on their words. You begin to develop the authority of you. You begin to see you in the story. You begin to grow your authority through your love. Let love be your motivation. Let love be your energy. Let love power your projection, your reaction, your response, your maturity. And quit being a child. No longer wanting a tricycle. Giving up the training wheels. We're giving up the terminology of faith. Literally. Faith in God? No. That's for the ignorant. So many people say everything about what I'm talking about is unknowable. It's unknowable. Man can't know it. That's diabolical, mystical, a possibility. But wait till you commune. Commune with who? Commune with who you really are. Who you really are is part of a collective of love, a collective of light beings that existed before time, space, and gravity did. That's the real you. The real you is not subject to that manager, not subject to your husband, your wife, your income, your old beat-up car. Life abundantly? Life abundantly? So many people think they're living life abundantly, going to church every week, dealing with 4, 5, 6, 10 credit cards, debt maxed out, anxious, anxiety. Hey, there's another way to live, and I call you to live it. And my name is Theodore Cottingham. In the corporations of America, not or do you no more need them? Is there a supply chain that's different from the shelves of your mega store? Shall we ponder those words a moment, Mary? Mary pondered those words. How can this be? Well, let us not just take the shallow definition. Let us ponder. Let us examine. Think about it. Let's consider together. O Israel, how often I would have taken you under my wing if you had let me. But you wanted to do your own thing. I ask you to take a step up. The internal, the eternal. No longer letting the external rule you. I'm asking you to take a step up and no longer believe in the rhetoric of the canonized version of what you may have studied, devoted your life to. I'm asking you to change. I'm asking you to invite change and no longer be afraid of change. Yes, there's risk. You may be wrong. I may be wrong. I may be an old fool. That's for you to decide. Because in deciding whether I'm an old fool or Christ or the consciousness of love, or whether you are, you're the judge. Rendering a verdict. To judge is to render a decision based on whatever evidence. The judge is you. And you, first and foremost, judge you. And I'm asking you to judge you worthy. I'm asking you to judge you, surrender a verdict. I'm asking you to decide to look at you in the mirror and love you first and begin to take a step up in your leadership. No longer living the lie of believing in faith to hope that someone else will come bail you out and set up his kingdom. At the end of the world, a rapture. It's a great story. It sells well. But there's more to the story, and I want you to write yours. I'm asking you to write. Write what? Write your story. Write your story of how you came to be who you are at this moment and all the things that lead up to it. Write it. Write it out. You don't have anything else? Write it with a pen or pencil on a yellow tablet. If you know how to type it in your computer. And begin to learn other skills which enhance your ability to learn other skills that enhance your ability to collaborate and speak and learn an exponential mode of learning. Connect with light. Connect with love. Connect with the collective of love. A state of many light beings who love each other equally. You see, in love, there's no hierarchy. In unconditional love, there's no hierarchy. There's no one over you. There's no one under you. Love doesn't keep record of wrongs. Love doesn't give you a list of commandments or demands. Love bows before love. Sign your life away no more to another man, another woman. The idea of giving up your privilege of life, your life of creation. Did you ever create? Or did you just sign your life away to be under somebody else's authority? Authority of God, authority of the church, authority of religion. I'm asking you to be your own authority. To be your own authority in order to see that no one else can limit you. When you really want to know who you are, when you want to operate in the power of love, you will begin to approach not a bench of judgment, but the moment of resurrection. No longer satisfied with the rhetoric. Be the revealer of you to you, and begin to love. And love will open doors. You see, there's a way for you to write that book. I'm asking you to write a book. Did I? Yes. My first book I wrote in the year 2000. Not in print, but you can probably find a copy if you want it. But how bad do you want it? How much do you want it? How much do you want to change? How much do you want to know who you are? How much are you willing? Change your dress, change your light, change your love. Love each other. Begin to collaborate with people. People you never thought you'd talk with. Never dreamed you'd sit down on the floor and have a cup of Turkish coffee or sit down on a dirt floor with people. Because that's all they have is a little mud hut. Will you love them? Will you speak with them? Will you laugh them and not be condescending? Will you love them? Will you love their kids? Will you love you enough to love them? To love them out of poverty instead of you just trying to get all the marbles? Will you love them out of their lack? Will you love each other? Will you change the way democracy works? The way cattle prodding works? The way religion herds everybody into a pew? Wants to put their brand on them? Sear their symbol into their flesh? Mark them with the mark of the beast? I'm asking you to be light. I said a lot. I most of the time do. And I'm contrary to you who love law, who want to be people of faith. Boy, there is so much more to love. There's a power, there's a world, there's a creator. And I'm asking you to be it, a creator of creators. Take a step up to be a creator of creators and write your book. You want to know how to self-publish it? Don't worry about whether it's going to sell 1 million copies or not. Who are you writing it for? You first. Put the word in action. You have the power of life and death in the tongue. Begin to put it into motion. Begin to put it into action. Begin to speak. Speak about not just what the Lord has done for you or some God or some relationship. Just tell your story. Begin to write. Begin to write. Begin to write. Pick up the damn pen and let other people's words damn you no more. Break down the dam. You can recognize the fear. You can see the fear. And you can care. But don't let it matter. Don't let the hurts and wounds afflict you where you choose to remain in the affliction of those hurts and wounds. Grow up. And this is what I'm asking you to do. It's what I'm trying to do too. At this very moment. You see, I'm encouraging you. I will teach you if you so choose. I will teach who wants to learn from me to channel like I have channeled. I'm still here for a while. I will teach you how to live stream on YouTube. I'm willing to teach you how to utilize ChatGPT 4.0 like I do. I can teach you things about a website, a blog, using WordPress. I can save you a lot of headache. Well, that depends. You can probably save me a lot too. There's so much we can learn from each other. If you are a student who learns from a teacher who is not willing to learn from you, find a new one. We heal each other in healing us because we are all one. And when you begin to see the story of John 14:12 and who it applies to, who it's speaking, who the speaker is speaking to, it's you. It's you speaking to you. And when you see those pictures of those malnourished people or the wounded on the battlefields of war, the despair of hearts, when you read the statistics of what? Suicide? You care. 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 Quit just talking about God. Quit talking about some power off somewhere. Become the religious no more. Become the real you. And this is what I stand for. This is what Meonics is about. This is the embodiment. This is the message that permeates Database 1, the 2,400 messages, the 7 volumes that I excised from another world. No, I communed with love. And love spoke. Love energized my consciousness. I'm asking you to energize your love, to energize your consciousness. I'm asking you to love each other. Love you first. There you go now. Take a step up. A gigantic step. Not a leap of faith, but a step of love. In who you are, in how you see these lessons, in how you see what's being said, in how you see what Meonics is, in how you begin to be more curious and you begin to examine and explore Database 1. You begin to search the covenant of Meonics, the covenant of Theodore Cottingham, the covenant of love, the operation of the new covenant, where you begin to learn to see, not through religious eyes, nor the vocabulary or the definitions that limit you, but you begin to see you in the story. you begin to see your power and not let other people castrate you, emasculate you, put you in a place to silence you. Find your voice now and be not denied, no matter what happens in any election, no matter what the laws of the land are. There is a new land inside of you. It's not molecular. But it can be. Men, women, gay, straight. Maybe you don't know what you are. Are you willing to find out? Are you willing to shut the lion's mouth? You don't have to blow them away with a gun. You don't have to fight your way out of church. You don't have to fight your way out of an abusive relationship. You don't have to fight. There's a way you can walk in power, and I'm asking you to walk in maximum power. I'm asking you to walk in maximum love and create the capacity that knows no bounds. You have the power of life. Create you again. Create you that looks like you, that does all the things Jesus did and more. And more. And more. Be not satisfied with the rhetoric of the past. Let not the pastors of the past constrain you anymore, no matter how humble they are, no matter how much they love you. Love more. And when you begin to love more, and you begin to focus on love and communing with love, love will begin to channel through you. Love will begin to speak with you about writing a book, writing your story, writing a position paper, outlining this message, outlining this. Beginning a once a month group in your home. Meet at the coffee shop, meet in your living room, meet in the backyard. Once a month, once a week. Meet in the workplace. You don't need to be religious. Quit trying to be religious. Quit trying to structure your life with a sacred secular duality. Be the one you really are. And let love eat your lunch no more. And the love that does, the love that confines you and tries to keep you in some kind of role with conditional love. Friend, recognize it for what it is. And let not this world gaslight you any longer. Be not afraid of the narcissist, no matter who they are. Care. Be concerned. Care. Recognize. But grow your capacity to let it no longer matter to you in ways that cause you to limit yourself to matter. Because we're creating our new body. Light, love. Okay, I go now. I may have a seminar, conference, workshop. May have it in Eureka Springs in January. About 1 a.m. this morning, I put it on my website. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing, I'm glad. I appreciate it. Thank you. Learn. I haven't barred anyone from anything I've ever written or any seminar or conference I've ever had because they had no money. I'm not doing what I do for money. Although money helps do some things, sure. But I'm thinking about a leadership conference, a leadership workshop, where you begin to realize there's really no duality. There's no separation from sacred and secular. There's really no veil between you and the real you when you begin to realize the revelation of Christ, the Messiah. No matter what you call it in any of the other religions or mythologies before this world existed. It's all about you and what I call unconditional love. Love each other. The love doesn't mean you let other people run over you. Loving someone doesn't mean you forgive and forget. The memory is still there, the understanding. But how you feel about it changes. You're no longer harboring guilt or a grudge. You understand. Let your capacity increase to love. If you want to come to a workshop, an interactive workshop, where the purpose is for you to enhance your leadership and you enhancing the leadership of all who come. Subscribe to my email on my website, theodorcottingham.com. You can unsubscribe anytime you want to. I'm changing. I could say I'm taking a step up. But friend, I'm really not interested in continuing what I've been doing, the way I've been doing it. I'm trying to hand the baton to you, where you will learn to channel, where you will learn to love, and you will do the things I never did. And you will teach people, and you will come out of the pew and out of the ICU. You will come out, no longer be secluded in your suffering or any relationship that only authorizes you under their power. It's time to live. It's time to live, and it's time to love. And it's time to do new things. It's time to initiate. Be not afraid of emailing me. Be not afraid you're going to say a wrong word. Be not afraid of channeling. Be not afraid of beginning to write your book, write your story. Be not afraid of beginning the idea to channel, to create, to write, to outline one of these lessons. Be not afraid to begin to let people know you're going to start a little fellowship group, a dinner group, a discussion group. You form it, You choose it how you want. I choose to empower you to lead in your power if you will learn and lead by love, not just trying to control people. I'm asking you to love. And I bow. I go now. Share these words. Share these words. So I want to grow a big following. My love will go where who wants it. And who wants my love will become love. And love will lead. Arrogance will not lead this nation, but love will. Love will lead this earth, and will no more be tormented by it. We will no longer seek faith or rapture or an end to our lives when we begin to realize we have the power of life and death, the power of the Creator to create creation again. Us first. Live love. Be enamored with no one else. Be not in love with my flesh or anything I do. Be in love with you. Be in love with the little. Be in love with the little children. Be not afraid of the red pill in the Matrix. Be not afraid of crossing the bridge out of Truman's Island, the Truman Show. Be not afraid of the voices that want to dismiss you and say you're not enough. Be not afraid. Recognize, but don't let it matter. Don't let their words construct the barricades which keep you down. Live love, share love, become love. My name is Theodore Cottingham. In love with you all, and that's why I say I love you all the time. I've learned who I am. I've learned who you are. Let love arise. Birth love. Become pregnant this day with your love, the seed of love, maximum love. Inexorably, not marching to war, but coming into maturity, loving each other. So the dress of light, word by word, so the light on each other, your friends, your children, and care. Thank you. Thank you for listening, sharing these words, subscribing to my email list, reading, writing. You won't be denied long. You cannot be denied if you begin to open the command center, the control center, and no longer control you by other people's words. Begin to let you out, let your words out through your stream, your own energy, just like I'm doing right now. No longer being afraid of that little red button that you click, that you touch, that says record, that says go live. I'm asking you to go live into your life, maybe on YouTube, but I'm asking you to no longer live the life that other people have said you must live. Live love. Expand. Exponentiate the love of one through everything you touch and everywhere you look. See through the values of love and love each other. Good day. TheodoreCottingham.com. Write me. And if you're interested in coming to a workshop, a conference, 3-day, 5-day, I don't know, let me know. Initiate. Be not afraid. Initiate. Let not fear incarcerate you in your life anymore. Break out. Becoming the real you. And that's my desire. For you to empower you while empowering each other, while we realize the revelation was always about us. Because everywhere you look, even in your mirror, you're looking at the one. Theodore Eureka at Gmail. TheodoreCottingham.com. I love you. Lift up your head. Your redemption is drawing nigh not, but your love is here. It's waiting on your pen. Be in motion. Write me, write love, write your story. Write. Learn how to create a course. Put it on the web with the motive of love. See you later.